My friends, this is Fill in the Blanks, and you need to listen to me. While most of us were unwrapping presents on December 25th, the Cuban National Series was wrapping up its regular season. The 59th series may have been the most hotly contested, or at least the tightest. All four playoff teams finished within one game of each other. Camagüey held on to the first spot, while Matanzas, Las Tunas, and Industriales all tied with identical records and had to rely on tiebreakers for playoff seeding. A late fade by Santiago, combined with a late surge by Industriales, and even though Cienfuegos took big strides and even making it to the second phase, we'll see those two teams on the outside looking in. So the matchups are set. First place Camagüey will take on Industriales, who does enter hot, going 9-1 in their last 10 games. Matanzas will host defending champion Las Tunas. Camagüey would appear to have a slight advantage on the mound with their team ERA sitting at 3.82 versus Industriales' 4.41. The Lions will likely try to outslug the Bulls as they did during the regular season, hitting 59 home runs to Camagüey's 41. A lot of this was driven by reinforcement and Cuban legend Frederick Cepeda, who finished just short of leading the league in home runs with 18, and Yordany Simon, who some think should be considered the batting champion, even though he fell just short of having enough plate appearances, but hit .413 on the season. It should be noted the reason why he missed those games was because he was representing Cuba in the Pan American Games and in the Premier 12. Key young arms to watch for Camagüey include Yosimar Cousin and Yariel Rodriguez, who was just recently announced to have signed a contract to play for the Chunichi Dragons in Japan this coming year. The Bulls' offensive attack is led by shortstop Alexander Ayala and Leslie Anderson, who recently returned to Cuba after spending time in the Tampa Bay Rays system and playing in Japan. A key reinforcement for Camagüey was Yorbis Baroto, who of course we saw this past summer in Kitchener. Yorbis shifted from shortstop to second base to help hold down that position and brought a consistent glove and solid bat. So the schedule will kick off on January 3rd in each of the lower seeded cities. The schedule this year sees the first round being a best of 5 series with those games condensed in a row. It appeared that all of those games would be day games, continuing the trend of this past season where due to fuel shortages, every game was played during daylight hours. However, at the last moment, it was announced that certain games will be played during the evening, specifically in Industriales and in Camagüey. However, apparently the lights aren't working in Matanzas. Those will be exclusive day games. Game times will be 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 8:30 p.m. The 8:30 slot seems a little bit late, but at the very least will be in primetime television. It's been stated the reason why such a late start is because that's when energy rates go down. The 4 remaining squads were each allowed to select 3 reinforcements. At first we thought they would be exclusively from Cienfuegos and Santiago. However, a few players that are currently playing professionally in Japan were selected. Industriales took Livan Moinelo, who recently won a title with the SoftBank Hawks. However, Moinelo has indicated that he will not report to Havana. The Federation allowed the team to pivot and select Misael Villa, who most recently was a reinforcement for Cienfuegos. This has left quite a few questions about whether or not the Federation actually contacted Moinelo to see if he was interested in playing and whether or not they can actually compel players to play in the National Series. Other reinforcements of note include youngster Cesar Prieto, who I've featured here a few times, who moved to Matanzas. Also, Miguel Lajera, who we saw this summer in Kitchener with Yorbis Baroto, will move to his third team during the National Series. He had returned after his stint in Canada to play for his home squad. Artemisa was taken by Cienfuegos in the first phase of the reinforcement draft, and now will move on to Matanzas and hopefully shore up their bullpen in their quest to win a championship. So, who do you think is going to take the 59th Cuban National Series championship and go on to play and represent Cuba in the Caribbean Series? Leave your comments below.